Welcome back to the Retro Sports Gamer channel. A few days ago, played some Ken Griffey Jr.'s Winning Run. This is one of my favorite baseball games on the Super Nintendo, if not my favorite. I started a season and it did save with the Mariners. I'm 1-1. Started a short season, 26 games. So I'm going to get to this next game. Might as well keep it going. Had fun playing this one. And let's see who shows up in the live chat tonight. I have been MIA as of late, but now I'm back doing some streaming. Won't be around next week, but that's alright. I'm getting in some extra ones tonight. So standings wise, I already showed you 1-1, so let's play some baseball. Royals, Yankees. This game is really good about doing everything for you. It auto saves. You just hit a button and simulates to where you have to play. I don't know why more games haven't made it this easy. And there we go. We're playing Detroit Tigers. What's up, Alex? Good to see you back in here tonight. How you healing up? Oh, just in time for your Detroit Tigers. That's right. And right off the bat, they're cracking it. Cat Gomez coming up. That's good. Good to hear. Just a little bit too far. The Kingdom. Here we go. Almost got him. In a baseball game. A video game with fans. Double play. Got to get the Tigers here on the overlay. What's up, Adam? Sorry, I didn't come back with that NBA season quite yet. Not ready. Not ready to do it. But, yeah, some more Ken Griffey Jr. Winning Run. Vinny Clayton, the guy with wheels. Ooh. That would have been fair. It might have been a... Never mind. Jose Munoz, 333 on the season. It's got a little pop, but not enough. Here's Griffey, 2 homers on the season. Oh, I felt it. Drops in there. He's playing far back. PS5, I don't see myself getting it. It has to have some type of feature that I cannot do with the PS4. It's not so much about the games. For me, I mean, the graphics aren't going to get any better. I mean, what else can they do? It's more just about what features they can offer. Like, something that would be appealing to me is play all the PlayStation games and stream them. But even so, I have a gaming PC now, and I could do everything easily from here. If it made pancakes, definitely. If it made pancakes, it would be hard to pass up. The way Sony likes to do it, though, is they kind of like to cut you off the last one. But the PS3 you can still play online, so I shouldn't say that. And then you can play online for free. Teddy Belcher, Pittsburgh Civil War maps. I'll have to look into that. I haven't looked into that one. So far, having an easy time. Oh, see, I should have caught that. I just moved myself out of the way. I'm back. You're back, James Bond. Hey, if you don't have a TV, you're doing pretty good. Oh, man. Should have said anything about it going easy. I got a ton of TVs. Mostly old ones. Whew, got out of a jam. That tinted cruiser. Kicked right in. The cannabis kicked in for you. Alright, we need to get some of these big brutes a home run. Oh, you kept your old 27? That's cool. Yeah, I don't think I have any TVs from my childhood growing up, but I have a ton of other ones that I've either got from people or bought them. I didn't know about that one. I didn't even know he had a brother. What's up, Eli? Flat CRT. Is it still rectangle? Couldn't get anything going. Like I said before, this game very much station to station, base to base, and hit home runs. No Madden 21 for the PS5. Are you saying that it's not coming out on there? Oh, flat tube. Nice. Yeah, the one I'm using now in... Oh, no. Outfield's tough. The one I'm using now is a 14-inch JVC. And it actually has the component in on the back. I'm not using it because I have a splitter. But this is one that Troy gave me from a tournament. The other one I had was bigger that I was using. Was like a 19-inch. But it started to hum pretty loudly where you can actually kind of hear it on the streams. It would be super annoying to use. One Chinese man got off the train from Vancouver to the trenches of World War I. But it's been a while since it owned a television. It is all flat screens. I mean, It's getting to the point now where you can't even trust buying a new TV because they have like cameras and microphones in them. So you want to lock up a older HD or a CRT while you can. Oh, you're not getting the new Madden. That's about all you have to think about it, Deontay. There you go. You got the right idea. Got out of another one. Giving up hits, but not runs. Big Brother's all over it. You're darn right about that. Yeah, I mean, you could find them easily. Craigslist is probably the best. What are you saying, Teddy? It's worth for the perfect camera angle to have a built-in camera. Samsung. Well, no double play on that one. Griffey, 625 on the season. Come on, get out. Oh, almost. 32-inch LCD from 09, 720p, zero complaints. I was actually, the one I use upstairs is a Panasonic TV that was one of the first 3D ones. I don't use this 3D. I have a few movies. It was fun for like, you know, a year maybe. Come on, get out. Grand Slam. The Grand Salami. There you go, Teddy. No television. I mean, I'm not against the television as an item. It's just, what are you going to put on that screen? Anything that's broadcasting through the air through your cable, I don't necessarily think it's good to have coming through anymore. Huge. Yeah, Edward Snowden, that was a big thing. You know, he definitely was a whistleblower for the truth of what was going on. Was that whole thing planned or not? That's another story. But yeah, the NSA is all over everything. Yeah, cheers for your Tigers, that big Grand Slam. Oh yeah, that's who it's based off of, Jay Buhner. From what I remember, though, he wasn't jacked or anything. He was just a really good hitter. Had times when a lie tell one true thing, and it's allowed him to tell a lot of sweet lies. Yeah, that's the thing. Once you get deeper into like looking into all this stuff, it's like it's always truth mixed with lies. Some guys, you know, like mainstream television, just lie, 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 lie. But then you have certain people, it's like 80% truth, so we could tell you the 20% lie. I mean, it's called COINTELPRO. That's basically what it is. Like me, I used to watch for a long time, for a couple years, InfoWars with Alex Jones, but then you figure out his role is to interview all the people who are questioning and make his program look legit, and then he acts like a crazy person, and they just come out with the conspiracy theory attacks and associate all these people with Alex Jones, and there you go. That's how you do it. But now people are getting wise to what's going on. Yeah, Billy Hicks. I know. That's another layer to this. Bill Hicks, the comedian. You got to figure if the people can get plastic surgery and pay for it, how long do you think the people in the government, CIA, have been doing it? Yeah, I mean, he's off his rocker now. But the thing is, it's like, you tell like your uncle or something, someone you talk to, that you listen to InfoWars, and then years later they think you still watch it. It's like, no, we moved way on from that. That was a nice little experiment. Oh, entertaining he is. Yeah, there is an incredible resemblance. I think if you look into it enough, and then you see it's the same like entertainment group that produced both of them. I forget what the guy's name is. I think it's like Booth is his last name. Then you see that it's like, okay, like, are all these things really a coincidence? And then you could watch videos of like Alex Jones flipping out, like, you think I'm Bill Hicks? I don't know. Everything's just crazy. Everything's just crazy now. Tiger's getting something going. Yes, definitely. Definitely have to be smarter. You have to filter everything. Got out of it again. Yeah, you're right. I mean, and that's the tough thing. There's the generations of people that just believed everything that they saw on the news. I think one of the first times I remember like really questioning the news hard is when I was a teenager, and they were just showing some random like percentage of whatever. I don't even remember what it was, but they just showed like the bars of the percentages. They had no sample size or anything. Like, they didn't say this is based off 10 people or 1,000 people. It's just like, oh, these are the percentages of what people said, and then they just that's it. Nothing. I'm like, Mom, I don't think they're really reporting. What is this based off of? Like, I don't agree with what they're saying, and they're basing this off. They're not even giving us the numbers of how many people they asked in this survey. Well, Alex Jones is definitely right sometimes, because he's one of those guys that they let speak truth, and then he does it enough until he acts crazy and then starts telling lies, and then you could tell when people hit certain topics, he won't go there. There's footage from Hicks last year with appearances and interviews. You could see him declining, losing weight. It was sad to see. Flight simulators. My grandpa, like, he was into computer technology in the 80s, but then he got like sick of buying them. So he had like all these flight simulators. I remember playing as a kid. He would hook up these old computers, and they were probably one of the best ones. Glad to have you back, David. Yeah, it's oh man, I don't know. Yeah, I know you're younger, Eli, so I'm glad you see it. But once you see it and then start unraveling everything after that, it's amazing that people even take any of it seriously. But you see that they do. If you just walk outside and go to the grocery store. Yeah, but you can't even follow sports anymore. That's the problem. I would say sports started getting, as far as I started noticing it, really political, even on radio shows like 10 years ago. But I know it's been longer because, like, I would say the first time I remember it being a more of a political thing was steroids in baseball. It's like they just wouldn't shut up about it. Yeah, controlled opposition, exactly. That's what it is, and they just keep coming. So I think we're at the point now where like the controlled opposition people that are out there, it's like even harder to decipher because they're like telling 95% truth or so like they're just running. There's running out of ways to steer people in the wrong direction. Oh yeah, Fox News 666 News. It's like they'll tell you some truth on Fox kind of, but there was a video that popped up. I just couldn't believe it. It was Tucker Carlson talking, and he's saying basically the number one uh, compelling candidate for against abortion is Kanye West. And I'm like, what are they talking about? Like Kanye West? Are you kidding me? Like it's just really a freak show. It's a clown show at this point. Oh, come on. I need to get a homer. So, Felipe, you're from Brazil? Yeah. Well, I mean, if you follow other countries, like other countries they're still going to the sporting events and some of them right now. So, USA, no one's going. So if we can't go to the games, then screw your sports. Well, football season wouldn't have started yet. And then NCAA, it's college, so it's a whole different story. Oh man, that was terrible. Here they're running soccer division 1, 2, and 3 state championships. So are people at the games in Brazil? I mean, it's to the point now where like the park districts here are ahead of the major. Like you could go to a park. Like I'm playing 16 in softball, and you could go watch the game just like normal. Or I saw like Little League being played in the town over from me. Bad Dudes? I haven't played that one too much. Paul Brown built the Bengals due to his hatred of the Browns and his ex-employers. Well, I give you an example of something that could be another potential psyop. I saw on Twitter today, Tim Tebow's like running this campaign, like Save the Children. Now, Tim Tebow has been definitely a guy in the media for a long time. And when you listen to him speak, I like what he stands for generally, but I don't know. Do we trust that that's what he's really doing? I don't know. They used a few years back. They used Ashton Kutcher, like speaking against Congress against this stuff. Like that's definitely a psyop. Like that guy, Hollywood. I mean, they got an actor acting in front of Congress. Like how dumb do they think we are? Sports, anime, movies, cartoons. Oh man, it's always crazy when I go watch old cartoons that I haven't seen in years. I was showing my daughter what Ghostbusters is, and in this episode they were talking about shape-shifting and reptilians. I was like, what the heck is going on? They're showing this in talking about it in a Ghostbusters episode. Joe Burrow, we'll see when he gets to play his first game, if ever. Now the new cartoons, I've put them on. It seems like they're just put them on for like ADD children or something. They're I don't know what the heck's wrong with them, but the old ones, they're not like that. But man, there's a lot of messages in there, subconscious, subliminal suggestions in those cartoons. Oh yeah, he didn't run. What's up, Troy? Yeah, G.I. Joe. I mean, it's really in all of them. Not like all episodes of all the cartoons, but I think all of the cartoons have some of that going on. So, like, the more research you do in this area, it's like you just realize, like, wow, I was born into a psychological operation this whole time. Fun. Yogi Bear and others, I'm sure you all heard of them. Yes, definitely. Oh, the big dive. That's a huge play. Believe in Congress, he dealt with the devil. Had times when you just act because you consider our interest bigger than politics. Oh, yeah. Those like Tom and Jerry, where there's no talking, it's just about the cartoon. Like, those are good ones to show kids for sure. Like, they're just chasing each other and doing funny stuff. Like, those are good ones. Scooby Doo, I watched a lot of that. Flintstones, not as much. Oh, my pitcher's tired. The Cartoon Network. Yeah, I honestly stopped watching cartoons a long time ago. I would say the last one that I seen some of it was Pokemon. But that's it. And I never got into anime like Pokemon's the closest thing to anime that I've seen. And I know that's probably the lightest of all of them out there. And my buddy Shelbay's big into Transformers with the Decepticons. But that was a little bit before my time watching cartoons. The Jetsons. I think it's just very clear to me that everything seemed to gradually get worse. Like, if you think TV started off with like good wholesome shows like Leave It to Beaver, and now where the shows are at, ugh, completely changed society, the TV. More inoffensive than the Western ones, the anime. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Teddy Belcher, I know. That's what it's all about now. COVID from a dog. I mean, oh, jeez. Just live, you know. Life's too short to be worrying about this kind of stuff all the time. Come on, Griff. A grand slam might be all I need to get the job done. Cowboy Bebop, I know nothing about that. Got a good piece. That's going to single it up. You get the ball in so fast in this game, like I don't even know. I don't even attempt to run to the next base. Looney Tunes I always liked too, definitely over the Disney cartoons. There's way, and if you want to look into the Disney cartoons, man, there's some subliminals in those. Haven't really looked into Looney Tunes for that kind of stuff, but yeah, I did. That was my favorite. Marvin the Martian, Bugs Bunny. Space Jam was cool too. Although not this new one. Oh wow, right over his head. That could have ended the game. Oh yeah, Procter and Gamble. Alex Jones versus Marco Rubio. Robin Hood. That's one I haven't seen in a long time. Skyline Chili. See, that's the kind of stuff you could do in this game. Oh, there was only one out. I gotta play. They're just teeing off. Might have to concentrate a little bit. All right, just one more. guys. Oh yeah, that was a tough one. Toy Story 3, the ending. That one was kind of crazy. I've liked Pixar movies, watched Up. I haven't watched that one. Mariners get the win over the Tigers 4-2. Just that big grand slam is all it took. Nothing else mattered in life. It is. It is season mode. This game just flows. Like, you know, usually you just like to look at your stats. You don't have to go through menus and go look at it. It just carries you through. Like, look at your stats real quick. Look at my team. Viper Ramirez with the big grand slam. Of course, Viper gets player of the game. Yeah, I think I got one more in me. See how it's looking in the standings. Still leading the division. Angels got to win. Frozen, I've seen a lot of recently, specifically the second one. That's the one my daughter watches. I think Elsa has a little bit too much attitude. Tigers should fire their manager. Thoughts on The Walking Dead? Well, I haven't seen it, but I see it when I walk outside. But I haven't seen the series. Oh, Ted Turner. Alex Jones works for Ted Turner, believe it or not. George Steinbrunners. So the only people that could see a Cubs game now are the people on those rooftops. They have those rooftop apartments. They're still able to watch the games. Brewers. All right. Playing in Milwaukee. Yeah, wrestling was the hottest thing in the 90s with WCW versus WWF. Good times. What's up, Gridiron Masters? Gridiron Masters. Oh, man. Come on, run it out. He's fast. They have CGI baseball fans now? Oh my god. I'm telling you, they're just really trying to get people used to all this nonsense. They don't. The plan is not to stop this after the pandemic. Oh, that's a bomb. I saw this thing on the BBC where they're going through like a virtual tour of what the future looks like, and in the first line it says it's the year 2025 and this is the way the world looks. We've been like this since the 2020 lockdown. And of course it's all the stuff they're pushing right now. The facial recognition, the temperature, the staying away from people. So the longer we're willing to put up with it, the more it will be like this. So at some point, you might want to just not do some of this stuff if you don't agree with it. That is crazy, Pat, but I believe it now. I think it's turning. I've had conversations with people that I never thought I would have with those people. So you know, they're pushing a little bit too far right now. Like, if you really think about it, if these things actually work, which I don't think they do, like, why do you need the masks if social distancing works? You don't need the masks. And then if the masks work, then why do you need social distancing? It doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes sense now. Ted Turner had dementia. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the movie Contagion, you gotta watch that one. It came out 9/11, and on the front cover it says, what does it say? I know on the back cover it says a virus that changed the world. Oh, the front cover says nothing spreads like fear. If you watch the movie, it's just like this year, basically. Joined the army the same day as the last Nitro, but I went to Atlanta. Unlike some people, I was doing it a half year before 9/11. You can request a game from Monday night, although I won't be there to play it. But if you request it, I could tell them. Big Griffey homer in the first inning. It's time for Stan Milton to get some hits. Yeah, but I'm not going also because I play softball on Monday nights, and they're double headers. And those are like the guys I grew up with, at least half the team. Going to Downers Grove. Yeah, where the Macho Man is from. Yeah, definitely. I think people are seeing things in a more reasonable terms. Yeah, if you have a health issues to begin with and you want to take care of yourself, you're assuming in this crazy world that everyone wants to be here for a long time. And if you do have issues already, don't you want to live life to the fullest until something does happen? It's just the force and enforcement of any of this is insane. It's not like downtown in Chicago. Yeah, it's a little bit rough down there, but the rest of the city, at least where I'm at, you're not getting an accurate report if you look at the news. Like, it's just kids in the neighborhood playing every day. And the parents are outside talking to each other. That's what happens pretty much most weekdays, since all the parents are at home for the most part, working from home. I mean, there's still a lot of them that are leaving, specifically the ones that are in like the construction business. They haven't stopped working the whole time. Civic Discord. Well, thanks, Alex. Yeah, like here's a perfect example. I have all these gaming controllers, right? And my cousin that got married in August asked me to bring all of like a bunch of my systems. I'll through the second first. Bunch of my systems for people to play in his garage. And this is amidst the coronavirus thing. And well, these controllers, they don't get washed too often. We'll just say that. And I did wash them before I went. And we used them, all night. And pretty much everybody made that wedding that was there that night. So we were sharing the controllers all night. Like natural immunity, you have to expose yourself to bacteria and germs. That's just how it works. If you want synthetic immunity, then you take vaccinations. If you want natural immunity, then you just live and let your body fight it off. Oh, so Felipe says he's learning English from the chat. I mean, if you're learning English, you're doing pretty good already. Yeah, it's crazy the numbers they're willing to admit to, but yet all the rule following. Yeah, I mean, if you're in a nursing home, you're in really bad shape to begin with. I don't think anybody goes into a nursing home in any type of good health. Like, it's like, we're just going to label all these COVID deaths because the government's just handing out money to the hospitals, and probably, I haven't heard about the nursing homes. Maybe they are doing that too. But we're literally talking about the flu. I mean, I'm getting a lot of people now that are telling me, oh, so-and-so had it. They tested positive. I'm like, so... But they're okay now. They couldn't taste for a little bit. They had a couple headaches, but they're fine now. It's just like... if they weren't telling us about all this, we wouldn't even hear this person was sick. He just had a flu and a fever, and that's it. You were gonna heal up there from your accident. Oh man, I don't know how to run to the bases. This could last a while. Get out of here. You got free food, drink, Randy old ladies. Oh man. Pennsylvania bars can only be open till 11 and can offer alcohol with food. A person can't walk in and buy a beer. Oh, that sounds like Utah has rules like that. My cousin was telling me, you know, because they're not too fond of alcohol in that state, from what I've been told. So they have some stuff like that just normally. But yeah, Chicago has the same thing. The bars that are just bars couldn't open unless they served food. But you could just walk in and buy a beer. But the thing is, like, where I live, across, like, 5 minutes away, across the street, is another town called Norridge. And they're open till 2 a.m. There's no one and they're really following the rules. I mean, like, they put it on their chalkboard, but that's about it. And the thing is, it's like, the cool thing about that place is, like, the ownership and the bartenders aren't scared, you know? They just work. Yeah, I remember. I was never like a play video games all day type of person. I would just play, you know, a few games and just be done. I would do most of my playing outside. Of course, bad weather, winter, changed that. And then as the graphics got better and I got a little bit older, we'd play more like 64 PlayStation. But like these systems, NES, Genesis, Super Nintendo, pretty much playing these strictly when the weather was bad outside. At least with friends. People, yeah. I mean, I wish the businesses would just say, I'm not doing this. There's some that I know that are fighting it. But those are few and far between. Old Milwaukee beer. Yeah, I gotta get back into that Old Milwaukee or Milwaukee's Best. Yeah. Small family restaurants, been in business for years or not, asked to run on 50% capacity, screws up their whole business plan. I mean, it's just, they're just orchestrating the death of small businesses and retail too, because it's like, why would I go to a store and get harassed or just feel uncomfortable with the mask stuff when you could just buy it online, which a lot of people are already doing anyways. So it's just like, let's just put them all out. What a cool thing that this sandwich place did that's a few blocks away from me, just down the block, like probably in May or June, they added a pickup window to the front of it. So all you have to do is call in, and then they just give it to you in the pickup window and you pay, so you don't have to even go in the place. Because, yeah, you know, all the drive-thrus are going to be doing better because people already use them and they're comfortable with them. You don't have to be made feel uncomfortable. Oh, the pizza business, yeah, as long as you weren't banking on filling up a big restaurant. You just have a small little business. Definitely. Delivering pizzas. Quick pickup. %. That's better than Chicago, where no one's going in. But really, it's like, is that really going to do anything? You're either there or you're not. Oh yeah, the plan is that thing I was telling you about on the BBC is they're basically saying that people are going to move out because living in the city was inconvenient. So it's part of the plan. Here in Rio, 50% on restaurants too, but they give a shit for this. Yeah. Well, the new customer service when you walk in the door, it used to be, "Hey, how are you? How can I help you?" Now it's, "Do you have a mask?" No hi before. Like, "Hey, how you doing? Do you have a mask?" It says, "Do you have a mask?" Well, California, of course, is going to have an exodus. I mean, they test run all this over there first. They're really just trying to see who's going to be put up with being a weirdo. The thing is, like, I've already told you what I think about the TV and what they're saying. Like, the numbers, I just do not believe them. Like, they're not doing autopsies on all these people. And they're not being, like, always directly reported straight to Channel 5 NBC News. California. Yeah, I've been sick of living in the city for a while. Really, you'd be wise, which I have not done yet myself. But I know that's the next step in this. Like, just start growing your own food. And if you're not growing your own food, get a chicken coop, get those eggs. I have a cousin that her and her husband was in the NFL. They sold their big house in Minnesota. He retired, and now they have a farm. They're ready. And they're even thinking about, like, stuff like if the electricity goes out. That's cool. Got a hockey tournament going. Ooh, he got in there. Mongo McMichael. Oh, man, I haven't thought about him in a little bit. There's a Twitter account that's dedicated to just everything Mongo's done in his career. I'm getting countryer every day. Oh, man. I messed that up. No outs. 3 guys on. This is not good. $50 acres. Herd of cattle, chickens. See. Well, there you go. If you got a stepdad with all that, you're good to go. Just have him teach you. or even lived there for a while. Yeah, you're right about that. If you could hit the right suburbs, you can get a mix. Oh yeah, I can imagine Mongo McMichael just going wild. Oh, you used to live there? Okay, there you go. You need these people in your family or your friends that are like actually planning for the stuff going on, because the thing is, like, we're talking about 20% capacity for a school, which, okay, people are learning things, but they're doing this type of stuff on farms, in factories where they make food. So the food production's going to slow down, definitely this winter, because they're using COVID as an excuse to shut down the food supply. And inflation's running rampant. Things are more expensive. Meat's more expensive. And it's going to just continue to get more expensive. So I got one off of me there. Oh, for sure, Eli. It's going to be bad. The thing that just happened, there was a big I don't even know what you call it, tornado, windstorm. It went through Iowa, like knocked out like 50% of the farmland and stuff. And then it came through, got here in Chicago. Like, there were trees 4 blocks away from me. There's a tree laying on a house. And then one of the parks over here got completely destroyed with trees everywhere. Derecho is the word I'm thinking of. Now, the disparity between haves and have-nots is only going to get worse. Yes. Yeah, they're going to make systematically poor. You know, across the board, you know, universities, companies are cutting retirement. They're doing furloughs. The thing, they're just making it so people do not have the liberty to work. That's the problem. Like, they're just saying you can't. You can't work anymore because you're scared of the flu. Yeah, well, that's the people who have no concept of how the economy works. The business owners know. I mean, there's so many business owners that are, you know, their business is their dream, you know, and they like what they do. But it's just being destroyed right now, economically. And by policy, by fear. It's just fear. Everything's fear. If you let go of fear, you see a different reality, let me tell you. Oh, yes, I did hear that. Like, it's derecho. So if you look into that, there's weather technology that exists in Alaska called HARP, which makes SimCity seem like it's a possibility in reality, where you can just create some natural disasters here and there. I got called back to work, but I can't because my kids' daycare is closed and everywhere else is completely capped out. Cricket. Yeah, that's something that people in the U.S. know nothing about. I know a little bit about it because I worked with a guy that played cricket in England. But he was actually like a Middle Eastern or Indian guy. I forget exactly what, but he played cricket, so he told me about it. Yeah, there you go. The jiu-jitsu gym guy probably loves jiu-jitsu, was providing a great service for people, and now it's closed. Aussie Rules Football on ESPN. Oh, yeah. Surprisingly, I think some of the baby boomers are waking up. Because this is just too crazy for them. I don't think they know the ins and outs of everything that's going on, but they know this isn't right. And they're able to do basic arithmetic. This is before Common Core math. They can actually use a calculator to do math. Be like, these are really low numbers we're talking about here. Does this even qualify as a pandemic? Let's get Walt in there. Geelong Cats. I don't know what that is, Felipe. I see what you're saying, Pat. Yeah. No, you're right. Cuz in that generation, the people that have shared things with me, that's what they're watching, and some of it's all right, but they like I said before, they're saying Kanye West is the number one candidate against abortions. Like, that's the type of stuff where it's like, come on, you guys are crazy. What are you even talking about, this guy? But I have seen some stuff that is pretty much on point. But it's funny, like, the stuff I watch, don't care about Fox News anymore at all, but they always want to show me the next video is Tucker Carlson. Like, that's why I see these things too, because sometimes they just play in the background when I'm working. It's always Fox News. It's like, yeah, you're doing too much research on this. We don't too much philosophy and conspiracy here. Watch Fox News. All right, they're catching up a little bit. That's true, Felipe. It is part of life. If we didn't fear it so much, we wouldn't be acting like this. I'm not acting like this, but that's the thing. Like, other people, it's like, boom! That's a big insurance run right there. Like, for all the rules that they're putting in place, like, I expect people to be just like dying on the streets or like have boils out of their neck. Not flu-like symptoms, and everybody you know is basically okay. I know there's some people who have had some bad luck, but in relation to other things that are killing people, heart attacks, cancer, like, is this thing really killing more people than cancer? I don't think so. I haven't looked at the numbers, but Brew Crew is coming back a little bit. Oh, I thought that was going to come in. Another thing to look at, just to make your mind think a little bit, there was a NBA commercial campaign. I want to say it was late, like maybe, the 2007 to 2010 era. David Blaine, he's a magician. He's talking about the NBA where, magic happens or whatever. And there's multiple commercials where they show you like magnets on the ball. And then he just throws up like a full court shot and it just goes in. Yeah, they don't put that kind of stuff out there just for no reason. When you see Damian Lillard and Steph Curry, where they shoot from, and it makes you think a little bit. Yeah. The ones who die of COVID outside for being out for very long will be something out of a movie. Yeah, I guess they were showing that. I follow someone who was in lockdown in Turkey and saying like their CNN news was showing rotting corpses on the streets of New York as what was happening in the U.S. Yeah, people aren't getting their chemo treatments because they can't go in the hospital. There's people terminally ill where they're not letting their partner or loved ones see them. It's really just evil. We're just in an evil time right now. Yes, a lot of people dying of a lot of different things, but we don't talk about the other ones anymore. Only the one to push an agenda. His voice is his signature. Yeah, Mort has very signature voice. It's nothing quite like it. It's disgusting, Pat. Yeah, it's really disgusting. If you look at the medical symbol with the snakes and the wings, it's like it's included on the what's it called? The Baphomet. It's the same symbol. Like they're telling you through the symbols. We're just not paying attention. Come on, Jack Booty. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, how do they have all these people in the hospital enforcing evil now? That's just the way I put it. At some point, you got to say, this is not right. I don't care what the policy says, whatever. But that's the thing. They get them to think like this. No, this matters more than doing what's right, is following these rules because we're in this state of pandemic. We don't care. Big bad booty daddy. Scott Steiner. Well, it's just fear and propaganda. I mean, you're just being told that this is what it is. You're not looking around you or going to the hospital daily to find out for yourself. You're relying on a untrustworthy source of news. Yeah, well, that's the left right paradigm. Them talking about the hydrochloroquine or whatever. Um, we're talking about a cure for something that probably doesn't exist in the way that you think it does. So we're just arguing about this everywhere. From what I know, the people that said they tested positive and they're fine now, they weren't taking any of this stuff. They just got better. Oh, yeah. Infowar, the title of the show. Sure thing. Oh. Funny time happened in the beginning of these crazy days. I was sick because of enteritis and call Uber to drive me to the hospital. Any driver except my call. I have 66 and 2/3 chance to be COVID, and then you throw Kurt Angle to the mix. Your numbers go drastically down. I just feel like the whole entire system is turned on us at this point. Perpetuating the system that we're living in is not going to be the answer. All right. 2 outs. I need this out. Oh, I just got that one. For older patients, he gives them Hydro, Zinc, Z-Pack, and has great success if caught early. Yeah, I know about that, Adam. I had I think it was my brother-in-law tell me 4 people signed up and were in the testing line, and one of them left, and 3 of them went in to get tested. One of them had to leave and go somewhere, and they called all of them, and the guy who didn't even take the test was positive. I mean, this is what we're dealing with here. And the cases are going up because the employers are forcing the test. Universities are forcing the test for like new incoming students if they're even having school. Big homer. It's like the space race all over again. Moscow's got the vaccine, huh? Griffey's already got 1 homer today. Ooh, I wanted to hold back on that. Yeah, it's time to stop trusting all these organizations. I mean, there's literally slow kill poisons in almost everything they give us, from the toothpaste to the deodorant to the food to the water with the fluoride. Like, that's what it is. The one thing I will say about Chicago is the police officers from my experience of going down there for over 10 years, they're very common sense oriented. They do not give you crap like if you've ever been to California for stupid stuff. I think this whole time, like one time a cop told me to walk my bike on the sidewalk. I think that's probably the extent of them telling me to do something. And that's being down there 5 days a week. Hey, extra base. Oh no, I screwed that all up. I could have had that run. And you know, they got more stuff to worry about. Real stuff than enforcing all these petty rules. Like the park is supposed to be closed by me, and it's been, the people just opened it. And the drinking fountains are on, the splash pad is on. There's people there every day and no one says anything. What if we run out of Italian beef? Could happen. Bomb of the ninth. I've ignored every policy in Michigan and never had an issue. Yeah, I mean, I was just in Michigan last weekend, and we went to a few places. I didn't wear a mask at all. Of course, they had all the signages up, but I went with my dad and my aunt and uncle, and they put it on, like the mask stuff, but they didn't say anything. They're really not trying to say anything. I feel like if you're around good people, they're not going to be that crazy about it. Especially if it's a smaller business, which this is a small... I mean, it was a big brewery, but it's probably the only one they have. 5-3 beating the Brewers. It was surprising, though, on the west side of Michigan, like how many people were wearing the mask. Like at the wine, we went to a wine brewery tasting place. There are people sitting there at the tasting bar, like where you actually are drinking, and they have it on the whole time, and they're only taking it off when they need to take a sip. It's like at that point, why are you even out? Fluoride calcifies the pineal gland in your brain, so it's really just keep you asleep, dumb you down. Not saying that it doesn't maybe do a little bit good for your teeth, but yeah, if you're drinking it, that's not what it's for. Man, that Gretchen Whitmer, that's a psycho lady. Sorry I said it, Alex. I think you brought her up before. I said I wasn't going to say what I thought, but I just did. Yeah, exit 6. I went to Round Barn, just a tasting one. The St. Julian was packed. It's okay, we can agree to disagree. Oh yeah, I guess if we agree to disagree on that one, you're probably like, man, this guy, with everything else I'm saying. Yeah, exit New Buffalo, that's it. There's also another one in New Buffalo called the Beer Church that I went to last year. That was cool because it's like an old church that they converted into a brewery. So let's see. We got Jose Munoz, 2 RBIs. Griffey with 3. 2 homers for Jose Munoz. Yeah, it's coming up a little bit with some extra stuff. They have a Villanova pizza over there at New Buffalo. I would recommend checking that out. One of the original ones is in Chicago, in Stickney, where right next to where I grew up. But get it double dough. You got to get it double dough because their crust is a little bit too thin and it makes the pizza greasy. But if you get it double dough, then that's the way you want to go. I'm just rolling with the Mariners. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Makes sense. Jose Munoz. Yeah, just, I think we're at a time where once you realize what's going on, if you do, it's like a time of civil disobedience, not to create any chaos yourself or get angry, but there's a dark reality planned for us if we don't stand up for ourselves. Yeah, the weight stations. I guess truckers do have to deal with that kind of stuff. Angels are 2-2 coming up. Mariners 3-1 there on the top. Yeah, I got some friends that are truckers, but I don't ask them too many questions about it, and they don't really talk about it. So, but yeah, it's a good way to make some money. MLB update. Top batters. Let's see. Griffey's up there. Number 20. Some guys are betting 1,000. CRBIs. And Griffey, 4th with 6. Viper Ramirez had that big grand slam, 20th. Oh, yeah, I mean, the smog's actually gone, though. My dad was pointing that out to me when we drove past it, because we did the way up there. And he's like, wow, it's so clear now. But I remember when it was smog. Let's see, do I care? Let's see, home runs. Griffey, 3rd in the league. Having a good season. Lithium to water. I personally have a Berkey that filters out. It's supposed to filter out. That's the thing. You never know, but like you see how clear the water is and how it tastes. You're like, okay, this thing works pretty good. But it's supposed to filter out the fluoride and many other chemicals. And I think you could, if you wanted to, you could just put I put the tap water in there to get it filtered out, but I guess you could use it if you had like well water or something. Get really clean, crisp water. Yeah, it's like what, $5 now and 60 something cents. for the longest time, it was like $2. And then it just started shooting up. What was more propaganda I seen on the way over there is get a transponder, stay clean or something like that. Like saying don't use the money anymore to pass the tolls. And it talked about quarantining and wearing a mask, like on the digital signs. This is driving down the highway. That was pretty cool. Another thing to watch is which I need to watch myself, but I've seen so many video breakdowns of it, is the Truman Show. And whether or not we wake up to that reality. The Easy Pass. Yeah, in Illinois it's called the I-Pass. Play again. I think let's see. Yeah, I think I'm done. I think 2 is good. It's a lot of baseball. There's a lot of baseball to be played on this Ken Griffey game. Oh, there's no tolls in Tennessee? That's nice. Yeah, it's just amazing, like the tolls. How much they're raking in with all those people passing. What are they using it for? God only knows. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, sticking with me, and participating in the chat. You know, there's just a lot of stuff to talk about these days, and it's not all about the sports. Like I said, these games are great. It was an awesome era for sports, and it's fun to go back and play some of these games. And hey, the season's going well with the Mariners. Thanks, Alex. We'll see you later. Thanks for checking in. And I'll be back soon. Next time we probably stream will be Monday night. The guys will stream, I'm guessing. See you guys later. Take care. Have a good one.